Hi, everybody. Thanks for having us today. My name is Moren Allen. I've been with Emmy Roth for about 5 years. Actually, I just had my 5-year anniversary and I got a little roller on. You get to pick your prize, so that's what I got. Really excited to be here. I've only been working with you guys for a few months now. Our old rep for you guys moved over to our food service team. So you got me, and so I have never been to Cleveland. So this has been fun. I saw some retailers last night. You guys are doing a great job. So thank you for all the support and for everything you do for us, for selling our cheese. Very important, thank you. So today I thought we would go through all of the cheeses that you carry, and then I have a few newer things that I wanted to present. We have spreads, and we're excited about this new line. But we'll do that last. So let's see if I can, oh, there we go. So Emmy Roth, so who's Emmy Roth? It's always good to start with the timeline. So in 1911, Otto Roth emigrates to the United States from Switzerland, and he decides to start a business importing Swiss cheese and selling it in America. So that's how that got started and continued until about 1991. When his descendants decided that they wanted to make cheese in the United States instead of just importing it. So they scouted around looking for a perfect location, and they ended up in Monroe, Wisconsin. How many people have been to our plant in Monroe? Nobody. I feel a trip in our future. Thank you, Juan.
They did have some people go up to Wisconsin, I think Bob from the Wisconsin cheeseboard or something.
Oh, good, good.
Somebody took a bus ride.
A bus ride? Okay, well, maybe it's time to do another one.
Before COVID.
Yes, okay, let's do another one in 25. That'll be fun, something to plan. So they find Monroe, it's Wisconsin, it's the dairy state, and so they have this great supply of local milk. There's already an existing cheese infrastructure, right? There's some cheese companies making cheese. And there's a Swiss tradition there, so that sat well with them. So they start the company Roth Case, which you guys probably remember when we were called that. And so when they wanted to make cheese, they wanted to do it in the style of the Swiss tradition, which meant making cheese in copper vats and aging it on spruce boards. But that wasn't being done in the United States. Everything was made in stainless steel vats and stainless steel shelves for aging. So it took a while, but they convinced the government that it was safe and that it's been being done for hundreds of years in Switzerland. I think they even took some government officials to Switzerland to make their case and got it approved. By 1993, they were making cheese in copper vats and aging on Swiss boards. So when you come to Monroe, you can see that room. We're still doing that there. Those cheeses we call Grand Cru. They're really a domestic Gruyere, but we can't say that because we're owned by the Swiss. So ours are Grand Cru, and the Grand Cru Surchoix won in 2016 the World Cheese Championship Award for that cheese. So it's really, they're just stellar cheeses. By 2009, Emmy, Swiss cooperative in Switzerland, purchased Roth Case, and that's when they changed our name to Emmy Roth. So that's how that all happens. And then in 2014, we acquired a facility in Platteville. That's where we do our large format cheeses. So we bought that plant. In 2019, we acquired the Seymour plant from Great Lakes to make our blue cheese. So that buttermilk blue, all those traditional blues, our crumbles, that's all done at Seymour, Wisconsin. You always want to do your blues alone because of all that mold. And then in 21, we acquired Athenos Feta. So the #1 brand of feta in the country. We're very excited to get to sell it. I have you guys in my sights to start bringing in the Athenos. I think you can do great things with it. There's definitely customers of yours that could be selling the Athenos. It's a very popular brand. And since we purchased it in 21, we've invested a lot into the brand marketing, packaging refresh, all sorts of the labels, everything you can think of. Our marketing team is on it. So there's a lot of support there. It's a great brand to sell. You can really have great sales with it. In 23, we opened our first ever conversion facility of ours. Up until now, we make a lot of cheese. We have a lot of conversion partners in Wisconsin who, would do our wedges, do our shreds. So a lot of cheese being trucked out and trucked back in, and then we would ship it. So we were really excited to open our Stoughton facility. This is in Stoughton, Wisconsin. It's our brand new headquarters, our warehouse now, because we have a third-party warehouse where our cheese ships out of, MRS. So we really wanted to take that component on ourselves. And the conversion was just huge because it really lets us sort of control the whole narrative. We started converting the Athenos because it's such a big brand for us. So that was the first thing that went on. We have 3 conversion rooms there. When you come out to Wisconsin, we'll visit Stoughton too. And then the second room is to do our wedges and our chunks. So all of the Roth, the Goudas and the Havardis and everything. So that's there. And now the third conversion room just coming on is for shreds. So we can do shreds from 2-ounce pack that goes into those home meal kits. We sell a lot of that, to all the way to the 5-pound bags. So if you have opportunities for shreds with your retailers for private label, or even just our own shreds branded, we have a lot of capacity now. So definitely something to think about. Keep it in your minds when you're talking to your customers, when you see that they have 8-ounce bags, private label, shreds, maybe we can bid on it the next time that goes up for bid. Any questions? We're all good. Our folks who are remote, any questions? No. Great. So this is a slide with our family of brands. So we've got our Emmy brands, our Alpine Traditions from Switzerland. Those are our Gruyères, Emmentaler, the fondues, raclette, all that good stuff. The Kaltbach, that's the cave-aged cheeses that are aged in Kaltbach, which is the 22-million-year-old caves. We've got our Roth brand made in Wisconsin. That's our Grand Cru, Goudas, Havardis, all that good stuff. And now the Athenos. And then we have our partner brands, Kindred Creamery. You guys sell some of that. We've got the Heritage, which is kosher, and the Appendel, which is like the slice on slice. I'm not sure if you guys ever sell that, but it's great products if you need those. They're good for like retailers that are doing burgers or something like that, sandwiches. It comes pre-sliced. So really nice products. Here's a slide that has a picture of our Monroe facility. So it's really got that Swiss look to it. This is what it looks like when you drive up. You can see the milk silos to the right. And then when you go around the back, in the center areas where we're making cheese, and then to the back is our test kitchen similar to this, but right behind it is all glass, and you can look right into the caves where we're aging all the Grand Cru. So it's a nice visit. Come on, you guys, you gotta come to Wisconsin. So just go quickly through the items that you currently carry. We've got them all out for you to try today. Our folks at home should have received sample packages, I hope. Thumbs up. Everybody got cheese in the mail? Good. And don't eat it all today. Save it for the holidays. So on the Havardis, you have our creamy Havardi, our dill Havarti, horseradish, and the jalapeno. So these are all packed 12 by 6 ounce. Our Havarti sales are growing by leaps and bounds. I think that the Roth brand of Havarti is finally kind of taking up outside of really the Wisconsin area. So traditionally, we would really our marketing team would put a lot of focus on our Roth brand in the Midwest, but now we've kind of gone further afield, so we're seeing a lot more growth, a lot more recognition. So these cheeses have a lot more to go. You can keep selling them. There's a lot of growth here. They're all great. They're mild, they're buttery, they're great melters. They're good on cheese boards, but they're also great for sandwiches and anything like that, burgers, salads. I think I emailed you the PowerPoint already, so everybody has access to it. So if there's anything that you want, if you see a slide that you like, we probably have a cut sheet on it, so we can just send it out to you. So next, you guys bring in our Grand Cru exact weight chunk. This is also packed 12 by 6 ounce. Great item, because I think people understand that this is like really a domestic Grand Cru at a great price. So it's less expensive than an import. Kind of acts just like it though. It's delicious. It's aged for about 4 months, so it's on the younger side. It's a great melter. You can do any of those traditional dinners that you're using Gruyere for, like a French onion soup or anything like that. It's gonna act just the same. So, and it's also, like we said, made in a copper vat, aged on spruce boards. So all that Swiss tradition in a domestic cheese made in Wisconsin. So really nice value there for your retailers. Next, we have our butter costs. This is one of my favorites. It's so mild and creamy and buttery and delicious, and everybody likes it. So if you're having company and you need a couple cheeses that aren't gonna worry anybody, this is definitely gonna go on your cheese board. It's a great melter. So sometimes in Wisconsin we'll do a raclette dinner, but we have to use Wisconsin cheeses. Instead of using raclette, I'll use this. And it melts fantastic. We make all the regular accoutrements, the sausage and the roasted peppers and broccoli and all that good stuff. And then we put this on the raclette grill and melt it and pour it right over the dinner. So it's a great cheese, good for grilled cheese too. So I love this cheese, and then you're just gonna pair it with some pickles and beer, and it's great. I feel like it's a little bit of a sleeper. Then you guys carry the wheel of the 3 chili Gouda, probably because we didn't always do it in a pre-cut. We can do this in a pre-cut now that we have the stone facility. So if you have a customer, we just need to think about who it is and minimums and that type of thing. In terms of our Goudas, it's definitely the most popular flavor. So you definitely have the best one, I think. But we've got, original Gouda, smoked Gouda, aged Gouda, a variety of Gouda flavors. So we have a lot of Gouda out there. This is the only one you're bringing in. But if you wanted other Goudas, we could talk about that. We've got them. This one's really nice though, because you can grate this one up, put it over your nachos, and it melts great, and just throw them in the oven. So this is really good for all those kind of taco night, Taco Tuesday kind of days. It melts great, it's spicy, it's got chipotle, habanero, and jalapeno in it. So just a fantastic cheese. And then you've got our Roth Buttermilk Blue, exact weight. So this is a 4 ounce, it's 12 in a pack, 12 in a case, 4 ounce. This is aged a couple of months. This one that we're making over at Seymour, it's tangy and mild. I think it's like very approachable. You can go on a salad. It's not, super duper pungent. So great cheese. And I know that you guys used to bring in the 4 ounce crumbled. So that we have that too if you need it. We also do the 6-pound wheel of this. And we do a smoked version called Moody Blue. So there's so many opportunities out there just that you can keep in mind of different things that you might be looking for. And now I just wanted to go through our new line that's part of Roth. So this is before we leave Wisconsin. We just came out kind of in August-ish with a line of spreads. So spreads are kind of big right now. We've got a lot of younger shoppers, 35 and younger, eating on the run. They love to snack. I see it with my son. He'll just take a hummus, a thing of crackers, a little bit of cheese, and he'll go. You know, they just want flavors, convenience, and variety. So these are our spreads. We used our cheeses in them. So there's synergy with the line. So you've got the caramelized onion. That tastes like French onion dip. It's really good. I like to serve it with like a hearty potato chip, like a kettle potato chip. That's got the Grand Cru in it. And these all also have a cream cheese. So they're very spreadable. They're not like you need to use a knife. You can just kind of dive in with a pretzel or something. So we've got the caramelized onion. We've got the jalapeno Havarti. So that's one of our Havartis. We've got the buffalo ranch Gouda. That's another one of our Gouda flavors. And then we've got a chunky blue, and that's also got some Havarti in it. And then the last one is a garlic and herb. And that one's kind of, you know, garlic and herb is very much a traditional spread flavor. It just seems like a natural to put with these. We always had a 2-pound garlic and herb for food service team. They sell a ton of it into, you know, catering and sandwich making places and all that stuff as a spread. So we've always been saying, how come food service has that and we can't have it? So they added that onto the line. So it's a really excellent flavor too. So you guys want to definitely try those today. And then we can, you guys just got it placed at Neiman's. I'm not sure whose account that is. But it'll be Neiman's. Oh, so it's coming out of Chicago. Okay. So so it'll be, we're in the process of setting everything up here for it. So these will be set up. So you can just, if you want some samples to send to some retailers, I can email you the cut sheet on it. The graphics are nice. They look really nice. We'll get you the pricing. Well, we sent the pricing to your purchasing already, but they'll tell you what your inside pricing is.
And what is the shelf life on the spreads once they're opened?
Oh, anything, when, you know, once you open something, we always say like 5 to 7 days, just like with any cheese. I mean, it's really, you know, in my house, we do the smell test, but certain things are, you know, if you've been dipping into something and you've got, you know, you've contaminated it, sometimes the shelf life will be a little bit, you know, shorter. With a hard cheese, honestly, you can always cut off a piece that looks a little moldy. So it'll always depend, but I would say since they're soft and spreadable, about a week. Yeah, for your personal, you know, usage. Okay, so we're leaving Wisconsin now and we're going all the way to Switzerland. So this is the Emmy Gruyere AOP that you guys bring in. You bring in the king cut, the quarter wheel, and the 6-ounce chunk, which is a perfect selection for your retailers. The only thing I think is missing would be the Gruyere shred, right? Because a lot of retailers that I have will repack that out. We do sell it even in a 4-ounce container, but they'll repack that out. They'll use it on a lot of things. So, you know, I think people are savvy. They like to have a shredded Gruyere option. So that's just something to think about. Of course, this is AOP, which means that it's a designation that certifies that the milk is from a particular region in Switzerland and that it's being made into cheese in that same region, right? So everything is very regulated so that we know that it's the real deal. Our Emmy Gruyere is the #1 Gruyere in the country, so that's exciting, and that's thanks to you guys selling everybody's selling our cheese. We appreciate that and getting it out there. So has everybody had this cheese? Has everyone tasted it? Good, good. So this cheese is aged for 5 months. It's an old recipe that's been being used since the 12th century. So very traditional cheese. And then I have a little map of Switzerland here so you could see to the right, that's Switzerland. To the left is the little cutout of the area that's on the left of closer to France. And you can see where the Gruyere is being made. It's kind of the lower left-hand corner there. So we've got the Emmy Gruyere that's aged about 5 months, but then we've got the Cowgirl Gruyere, which is aged for about a year. So this one you guys bring in the king cut also, the 5-ounce pre-cut, and then the whole wheel, which is around 74 pounds. This is, you know, an amazing cheese. What happens is a certain percentage of our cheesemakers that are doing the Emmy Gruyere, those wheels are then shipped over to the Cowgirl Caves. They're hand selected. They have to really be the top. They have a sort of a system of points for these cheeses. And then they go to the Cowgirl Caves and they're aged out for at least a year. So that's what makes them so special. These caves are, you know, it's a 22-million-year-old cave with the perfect conditions for aging cheese. And it's been going on for so long, it's like the cheese absorbs all of this nuances from the caves, and it really enhances the cheese. It's super nutty. It does get that crystal crunch that you get after a year of aging. Really special. Whereas with the Emmy Gruyere cheese, you might use it in a recipe. This cheese you really want to put on a cutting board. You can use it in a recipe. It definitely still is a great melter, but it's such a special cheese, you'll want to just sort of enjoy it and eat it. And then, you know, of course, make your French onion soup with it, or that French sandwich with the ham. So delicious. Here's a slide of the Cowgirl Caves, little spooky caves there. Just a little information. So it's pure, ventilated, mineral-rich air. The temperature in there is always about 55 degrees at 94% humidity. So like the perfect conditions for aging cheese. It's kind of like amazing. It's like really ideal. To the left, you see there's like a little, the bottom left, there's a little picture there. That's a close-up of the walls, like the microflora that's been growing in there. And that really, it has a little bit of an effect on the taste of the cheese. So in those caves are the cave masters, the affineurs. They've been working there for decades. It's really a calling, and they love those cheeses. They know exactly what they need to be turned, to be washed. They kind of just take care of them so carefully, and I think it really shows with the consistency of these cheeses. I don't know that you ever get a Cowgirl wheel that isn't perfect. I mean, they're just fantastic. It's just great. They sort of decide on how often they do it. It's really up to the cave masters of when they're thinking that it needs it. Yeah.
That's the place I want to visit.
I do too. Can you believe it? 5 years and I haven't been there. Every time they say, like, anonymously, what would you like to propose? I always say anonymously that I go to Switzerland. Yeah. I know. Maybe I have to do a contest or something so we can all get there. So the next item that you guys bring in from Switzerland are our Emmy fondues. There's 2 of them. This one here that's in the little box, that is the original fondue. Inside it's in a foil pack. It's totally set. You just like squeeze it out into your fondue pan, crock, and warm it up. And then you're just gonna stir it. So it's like the perfect dinner with the kids, right? Just put it on. Surround it with everything that you want them to eat, you know, so they'll dip it in. It's just fun. So that's a really fun one. And when I have a party, I'll just put it in the corner, like surrounded by bread and stuff. And every once in a while you got to stir it, but that's it. So people just come over, they grab it, and then that way you can have other stations going on in the house. And that one sort of, once it's up, it's up. And usually like 2 of those is plenty for like the night. Yeah, so it's a great deal. The other one, the blend, that one is all the grated cheeses in there, and you're just gonna put a little bit of wine. You'd be surprised, you don't need a lot of wine, and just stir it up and get it warm, and it's good to go. Yeah, so they both have, so if you had kids and you didn't want to use wine, you could just use a little chicken broth or something. You just need to wet it, right? But this one, the original, has already wine and kirsch in it, so it's a little more traditional. Or it's good to go. Yeah. So these are great items. The original one is packed 12 by 14, the blend 12 by 12. They have great shelf life, although the blend is probably less, 150 days, because it's grated up. But great shelf life. It's something that your retailers really ought to have during the holidays for sure. So it's a really good item to get in there now through, New Year's Eve at least. We do a beer one in case you guys ever want that. We do a beer fondue. We came out with it last year. I don't know if you've even ever seen it. I didn't even think of it, but maybe we'll get you some samples. It's cool. So it's made with beer. So we kind of think of it as more of a everyday item, serve it with like soft pretzels kind of thing, more like a fun thing. Oktoberfest, Super Bowl, yeah. It's a little less snooty, beer fondue. So. Then you guys bring in the raclette wheel. So raclette, like we were talking about, it is a fantastic cheese for your customers to bring in for raclette dinners. I mean, it doesn't have to be a raclette dinner. It's a delicious cheese just to eat. It's just another good Alpine cheese. But, it's such a tradition to warm it up on the grill, serve it with these big dinners of sausage and potatoes, and then just pour it right over the food. Again, something fun to do with kids, a little party. They sell these nice grills. They're rectangular, and then they have 8 of these little grill pans for the cheese. So you kind of put the cheese on the little grill thing underneath, and you pour all your food on top to warm up, and then everybody just helps themselves and keeps eating. So it's like one of those communal fun dinners that you can throw at home. I love that. Switzerland Swiss. So this is a great cheese for your delis, really. It's great for slicing. You could, your customers can cut and wrap it and sell it as chunks of Swiss. I sell a lot of it on the East Coast to a retailer, and they use it behind the deli. And it's like their imported Swiss, and they just slice it up. Good value for the money, great import, very traditional cheese, Swiss cheese, so kind of the real deal, but good value. We also do this in a 7-ounce chunk. So if you wanted that, if that is something that you guys are looking for or you need, we do it. It's 12 by 7 ounce. Emmentaler, the king of Swiss. So this is still made in that giant 200-pound wheel. It has the eyes. It's really a great cheese, very nutty, very delicious. It melts great, so you can use that in your quiches and fondues and sandwiches and all that good stuff. You bring in the retail cut on that, and that's a 6-ounce. Yeah, it's packed 16 by 6 ounce. So a nice product for the holidays too. The label stands out really nice. Last year we redid all those labels, and that is called like the Schneeder Schnitzel. It's that Swiss little look, and they all look really nice together on the shelf. All those imports, and we think that your retailers probably love that too. You bring in the Tete de Moine, so that's that the monk cheese. This is a cool cheese. It's just a 2-pound wheel. It's the one that traditionally your retailer is going to use a girolle and make the rosettes with. So that's something fun if your retailers are upscale and they're looking for something cool to do during the holidays. They just set that girolle on it. They make the rosettes and then they sell the rosettes. And you just put a few on a cheese board. It looks so good.
Recently saw those.
You
I was
did?
wondering what kind of cheeses.
Yeah.
It's so funny you bring that up.
It's really good. And I think just the way it comes, so thin, but in that rosette, they're really fun to eat. It's almost like they're light and you can just like pop it in your mouth. They look beautiful. We do sell the rosettes. So something else to know, to think about, they're little round packages of them. So, and we bring them in like that. And so you would just have to pre-order them, but they're really nice. You just like take them out and I serve them at home and people love them. Yeah, they just look great on your cheese board. Yeah, so nice item. Who's emailing me? See, people keep emailing. And then we have the Appenzeller. So Appenzeller, I feel like maybe everybody doesn't know or appreciate Appenzeller as much. You guys bring in the Swiss, the silver label. So we do a white label and a silver label. So this one has a little more flavor, a lot of nuttiness, but also like a spiciness, like almost like a ginger black tea thing going on with it. The Appenzeller is sort of known for being a secret recipe. So only certain people in Switzerland, in the dairy, have the recipe, know the recipe. They really guard it. It's kind of funny, but it is a great cheese, something different. So there's a lot of Alpine cheeses out there. This kind of elevates the case a little bit. Not everybody has an Appenzeller. So I like to add this to the mix. And then the La Cremeux. So La Cremeux is the cheese that you guys don't currently bring in, but I did want to bring a couple cheeses here, a couple imports for you guys to look at. La Cremeux, I have to admit, is my favorite of all the imports. So I like to be a La Cremeux pusher. So it is a 9-pound wheel. It is always aged in the Kalpak Cave, I think about 4 to 5 months, yep. And there's cream in the mix of the curd, so during the cheese making process. So it is just definitely more creamy than most of the Alpine cheeses that we eat. It's got like a real butterscotchiness to it, and then kind of like that chicken broth savory taste. It's an excellent cheese. You can melt it and all that good stuff, but it's such a good cheese. You want to like put this on your cheese board and just enjoy it. It's a delicious cheese. If you have some left over, go ahead, throw it in your mac and cheese mix. But try to eat it. I always say don't share your La Cremeux. So it's a great cheese. I hope you guys like it and want to bring it in. It's something for your retailers that are looking for just something new and special, especially for the holidays. It's a really nice addition. And then the other Alpine cheese is La Marchelle, and we have that here too. This cheese, we've been selling it for a long time, but it was an exclusive at Whole Foods. So they, just based on volume of what they could produce, we couldn't sell it. And then this year, finally, we've been able to sell it based on enough inventory that they can make. So it's a great cheese from Switzerland. It's aged for 7 months. Little picture there, you can see it's also made in copper vats, aged on the spruce boards. It's a raw melt cheese and a wash rind, so it's got a definite funk to it. So if you like a little extra funkiness in your cheese, it does stand out against the Alpine cheeses because it's got that funkiness, but it has a lot of flavor. It's very herbaceous. I think they're putting some herbs on the outside when they're doing the washing of it. So you'll really get that herbaceousness. So I'll be curious to see if you guys like the La Marchelle and the La Cremeux today. And lastly, I wanted to talk a little bit about Cowgirl Creamery. So you guys probably know that Emmy, Switzerland, they own us. They own Cypress Grove, they own Cowgirl Creamery, and Red Hill. So we all consider ourselves sister companies. And so our customers can buy, the Cowgirl and the Cypress through us, which is great. Or you can just buy it. You guys buy the Cowgirl directly. All good. But this year, Emmy asked us, Emmy Roth, to take over the sales and marketing of the Cowgirl cheeses to help them out. It's a very small creamery. It's all organic milk. They have very high costs. So in a way to kind of help them grow and stabilize, we took that on, and it's been great. So you guys are doing a really good job with the Cowgirl now, and we're just hoping to continue to educate. It's one of those lines that really want to educate the customer, get it in their mouths, do some demos. It's that kind of cheese that once they taste it, they'll love it. It's a little bit, it's more expensive. So, when someone's picking up a Havarti, okay, they're paying $5.99. It's not such an investment. If you're paying $16 for a cheese, you want to know ahead of time, right? So there's a different level of education there, and that's what we really need to do. Here's some pictures of their cows. It's all organic. It's a small, very beautiful line. Mount Tam is definitely the #1 cheese for them. That one is packed 12 in a case. That would be the lion's share of the sales. Plus, secondly, is the Red Hawk. And the Red Hawk is an apple cider washed rinded cheese. So it's got a little funkiness. It's got that kind of reddish rind. These are all bloomy rinded cheeses, triple cream, just buttery and delicious and yummy. And then Pierce Point is like you can think of it as a Mount Tam covered in herbs. And then the Devil's Gulch is covered in the cracked red pepper. So just a really beautiful line there. And I always suggest you take, a retailer take the Mount Tam and the Red Hawk, and then maybe bring in one of those rotate them in so that there's variety. The Heart's Desires, just available during Valentine's Day. If you guys want it, start thinking about it in December so that we can get onto the production schedule. They make it, they ship it, and then it's gone. And I love that. It's in a heart. I don't know. Kind of makes me want to eat it more. And then they have 2 wheels. The wagon wheel is a 15-pound wheel, and the hop-along is a 5-pound wheel. And here's a little bit more info on these cheeses. The Mount Tam is 12 in a case, but the other ones are 6. So just when you're talking to your retailers, it's not such a huge investment if they're only 6 in a case. A little bit easier to bring them in. And these are all made in Petaluma County in California. So there'll be lots of info here on this PowerPoint for you guys in case you're, wondering any of the specifics on these cheeses. But I have a cute slide here which shows the secret life of Mount Tam, and you can kind of use this for any of the cheeses. When it starts out, it's young, it's very firm, it's got that beautiful bloomy rind on it, and it's delicious right away. But then when it starts to ripen, you'll see this cream line develop, and the inside is still firm. And then when it's totally mature, like the whole thing is like buttery, fudgy goodness. And that's when you just want to cut off the top and scoop it all out. So I definitely eat these past their date at home. They give it only like a 70-day shelf life. But they just kind of get better and better. They're really great cheeses, but we do have to move through them pretty quick through retail. So you guys, I think if I'm noticing your orders going in, they're pretty frequent, maybe every other week or every week, small amounts, which is smart. Just get them in, get them out to your retailers, because you want to give the retailer as much shelf life as possible. So some extra info on Red Hawk, and then what I want to show you, here's that beautiful Pierce Point with the herbs on it. Looks so nice, tastes great too. Devil's Gulch. And then the wagon wheel, being a 15-pound wheel is sometimes a tough sell for a retailer. So this year, they started converting it to 6-ounce wedges. So I believe you guys are bringing in the wedges. I got to double check. I know you're bringing in wagon wheel and hop-along, but I feel like it's the wedge of it that you're bringing in. They're packed 12 6-ounce to a case. So these are great for your retailers, so it's a smaller commitment. They can go through it quick. Still has a decent shelf life. The wagon wheel is a nice kind of a table cheese. It melts great. You'll see, we'll eat some today. It's got a lot going on, but it's not so overpowering. It's just a really nice cheese. Also a good melter, and I think that's when Sue and Peg started making this cheese way back when. They were making it for a restaurant that needed a good melter. And so if you've got some left over, definitely use this in a recipe. It is just a fantastic cheese. And then we'll show you the hop-along retail too. What I like is the wagon wheel being so big, you get these long, thin wedges, and then the hop-along is only a 5-pound wheel, so you get, looks totally different. You get a nice fat chunk there. So it really distinguishes it. And then the hop-along is cider washed. So it's got a nice little funky flavor to it. And lastly is our heart's desire. Serve it with chocolate. Make dinner for your loved one. That's it.
Also, do you need to have that order in?
Yeah, I think if you can get it in probably very early in January, but better in December, or at least give me an idea. Yeah. Just because they want to, sort of allocate their production to it.